In this video, I wanted to talk about my favorite iPad, which is the iPad Air M1. This guy is a couple of years old now, but since the new M2 iPad Airs have arrived and we might get newer iPad Airs in the future, I thought anybody who's looking for a good deal could still snag up a M1 iPad Air. This guy is perfectly fine. It's great. I love the fact that there's an M1 on an iPad, and that also shared the same processor at the time with an iPad Pro. This iPad does everything I want it to do, so it's great at multitasking. It actually is amazing at keeping the status of the app still alive for even months. I've left like apps open for months, which is bad on me, but the app doesn't actually refresh. It's great at keeping the app literally like I left it a couple of months ago. But that kind of sheds light on how I use my iPad. I don't use it too much other than just YouTube content, probably sometimes sketching, and maybe some web browsing, but that's it. I think you just do iPad things. Unfortunately, Apple has not pushed the envelope of the iPad and merged macOS and iPadOS as I would have hoped, and I think others had hoped as well. But regardless, being an iPad, it's great at being an iPad, and being an iPad has its advantages and disadvantages. Getting apps like Final Cut to the iPad has been monumental in kind of showing that the iPad can do a lot of great things, and I've actually used it to do some video editing actually for a couple of months before switching back to my desktop, just for some finer control. But during those months I was using Final Cut Pro on the iPad. It was great. Latency was great. It was able to handle 4K streams. The interface, I think, is something that is still a concern for the iPad. It probably needs just a macOS port. It needs to kind of look like a bit more of macOS and have the classic desktop. But that's just my sole opinion. The keyboard and mouse support and Apple Pencil support is great. As usual, everybody knows it. Overall, I think there's no harm in just picking up an M1 iPad Air. You save lots of money, I think, and it's still the same great experience.